Well, in the beginning, when you have a P0410 code on your Saturn, this is a 2002 Saturn SC1, single overhead cam, 5-speed air conditioning, all that. You have your pump, your supply line, your diverter valve, your solenoid, the vacuum line that comes down from the intake manifold through the back of the valve cover along the side right here up to a one-way valve into the bottom of the diverter valve, or into the bottom of the solenoid. Solenoid's run by the computer, and after that it comes out of the solenoid up into the diverter valve. So the air pump starts running, runs air to the diverter valve. The computer decides whether it needs to run or not. The vacuum supply is turned on, runs into the diverter valve, pulls the vacuum diaphragm up. There's a reed valve down inside in here that allows the air to go from the pump through the line, through the diverter valve, and into the head. You have some lines in here come through and go to the air injection ports in the head. There's another one right here that you can see. They look like humps, and so that's how that runs. But when you have a problem, first thing you do is you remove the vacuum lines here and here, pull that back, set it aside up here. Then you remove the solenoid valve electric, the air conditioning electric, set them aside up here. Remove the diverter valve, set the diverter valve to the side, take these two bolts out here, down the bottom here and here. That removes this bracket right here. Then you remove the air conditioning pump itself with 1, 2, 3 screws, and remove these two panels to access your crankshaft. And this here is the tensioner. You use a wrench to loosen the tensioner so that you can remove this belt, put the belt off to the side, remove the air conditioner, remove the plenum that goes in here, and is held down with a screw there. That way you can take this assembly and set it back up here where you can get at the exhaust manifold. Then you remove 8 exhaust manifold nuts. You disconnect the air injector, or the oxygen sensor right here. Somehow get this back on. Anyway, set that back in place, and then you can get at the exhaust manifold. Loosen the exhaust manifold bolts, loosen the bolts, 3 bolts flange to the exhaust pipe. Remove the exhaust pipe, 3 bolts up there, and then this pair here that holds the exhaust pipe to the bottom of the trans. And you also have to loosen that big nut there so that when you reassemble, you put the exhaust manifold on, tighten it, then you put the exhaust pipe on and tighten the 3 bolts up there, and then you have this bracket here loose so that when you tighten the exhaust pipe back down to the transmission, you can slip it around, because sometimes there's a little misalignment from bolting everything back together. So this here will slip, allow you to put these 2 bolts, this one here and the one on the other side over here, in. Then you tighten everything back down by this nut, or this bolt here. Come back up, You reinstall all this. Chris, I don't need it.
No.
Thanks anyway. Then you come back and you reinstall your panels back in here to cover everything back up, and you're done. 2002 SC1 with a 1.9 liter motor, cleaning out the exhaust ports in the head, not the exhaust ports, the air injection ports in the head.